The deceptive diplomacy. The message came on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, shattering the monotony of life on Earth with 6 simple words. We are not alone. First contact imminent. Within hours, the encrypted transmission from humanity's furthest space probe had been verified, decoded, and broadcast to every corner of the globe. The streets of every major city swelled with crowds, some celebrating, some panicking, but all united in the knowledge that everything was about to change. Dr. Amelia Chen, lead xenolinguist at the United Earth Space Agency, hunched over her desk, bleary-eyed from sleepless nights spent deciphering the alien language. They call themselves the Galactic Imperium, she mumbled to no one in particular, her voice barely audible over the frantic energy of the command center. And they're sending an envoy. ETA, 72 hours. General Marcus Blackwood, a stern figure with more metal on his chest than most people had in their cutlery drawers, leaned over her shoulder. Anything else, Doctor? Anything we can use? Amelia shook her head. Just formalities. Lots of grandstanding about their power and reach. They seem arrogant. Blackwood's eyes narrowed. Perfect, he said, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. Get some rest, Dr. Chen. I need to make a call. As Amelia stumbled towards her quarters, Blackwood strode to a nondescript door at the back of the command center. He pressed his palm to a hidden scanner, and the door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside, a dozen of Earth's most powerful leaders sat around a holographic display, their faces grim. Ladies and gentlemen, Blackwood announced, Operation Looking Glass is a go. Time to show these aliens exactly what they expect to see. Across the globe, a carefully orchestrated dance began. Sleek, futuristic buildings were covered with holographic projections of dilapidated structures. Cutting-edge maglev trains were replaced with outdated combustion engines. And in orbit, Earth's secret fleet of advanced warships silently slipped behind the moon, leaving only a handful of decoy satellites in their place. To any watching eyes, Earth had become the very picture of a primitive fossil fuel-dependent world on the brink of its first stumbling steps into space. 72 hours later, the sky above New York City shimmered and split. A vessel of impossible size and grace emerged, its hull gleaming with an iridescent sheen that put even the most advanced human materials to shame. Smaller craft peeled away from the mothership, descending towards the hastily constructed landing pad in Central Park. As the alien shuttle touched down, a hush fell over the assembled crowd. World leaders stood shoulder to shoulder with everyday citizens, all craning their necks for a glimpse of humanity's first extraterrestrial visitors. The shuttle's door rised open, and out stepped a figure that defied easy description. Prince Zoxnar of the Galactic Imperium was tall, easily 7 feet, with 4 arms and skin that seemed to shift colors like oil on water. His eyes, 3 of them, swept over the crowd with an expression that even alien features couldn't disguise. Thinly veiled disdain. Greetings, humans, Zoxnar's voice boomed, somehow perfectly understandable despite his alien physiology. We, the Galactic Imperium, have come to welcome you to the greater cosmic community. President Elena Rodriguez stepped forward, her face a mask of diplomatic neutrality. On behalf of Earth, we welcome you, Your Highness. We are honored by your presence. Zoxnar's top set of arms waved dismissively. Yes, yes, I'm sure you are. Now shall we dispense with these tedious formalities? I'm eager to see what paltry advancements your species has managed to cobble together. As the alien delegation was led on a tour of Earth's carefully curated technological marvels, Dr. Amelia Chen found herself walking alongside a junior member of Zoxnar's staff. The alien, introducing himself as Vex, seemed far more curious and less condescending than his superior. Tell me, Dr. Chen, Vex asked, his translator struggling with the complexities of human names, how long has your species been capable of faster-than-light communication? Amelia blinked, caught off guard. I'm not sure what you mean. We've only recently managed to send probes to the outer edges of our solar system. Vex's eyes, all four of them, widened in surprise. But the message we received, surely you must have. He trailed off, noticing the sharp look from one of Zoxnar's guards. Ah, never mind. A simple misunderstanding, I'm sure. As the tour continued, Amelia's mind raced. What message? Had Earth's hidden capabilities been discovered already? She needed to warn General Blackwood, but how to do it without arousing suspicion? Meanwhile, Prince Zoxnar's disdain grew with each primitive human achievement presented to him. He scoffed at the internal combustion engines, rolled his eyes at the quaint silicon-based computers, and openly laughed at Earth's fledgling space program. Really, Madam President, Zoxnar drawled as they stood before a decommissioned Saturn V rocket. I'm beginning to wonder why we bothered coming at all. Surely you don't expect to join the galactic community with this? President Rodriguez gritted her teeth, fighting to maintain her composure. We may not have your advanced technology, Your Highness, but humanity has other strengths. Our diversity, our creativity, our resilience. Yes, yes, Zoxnar interrupted, waving all four arms in dismissal. I'm sure you're all very special. Now let's discuss the real reason for our visit, shall we? Your planet, while laughably backward, does possess certain resources that the Imperium finds valuable. The President's eyes narrowed. Resources. Indeed. Rare minerals, unique biological compounds. Nothing you're using efficiently, I assure you. We're prepared to offer you a generous arrangement. The Imperium will extract these resources, and in exchange, will grant Earth vassal status, protection, limited technology sharing, perhaps even some rudimentary spaceflight capabilities, if you prove yourselves worthy. The assembled human leaders exchanged glances, a mixture of feigned shock and carefully hidden anger on their faces. This was the moment they had prepared for, the confirmation of their suspicions about the Imperium's true motives. President Rodriguez took a deep breath, ready to deliver her carefully prepared response, when suddenly, all hell broke loose. Alarms blared across the city. Holographic screens flickered to life, showing a massive object hurtling towards Earth. It was artificial, clearly alien, but definitely not Imperium design. Zoxnar's demeanor instantly shifted from arrogant to alarmed. Impossible, he hissed, all pretense of superiority forgotten. How did they find us here? As chaos erupted around them, Dr. Amelia Chen locked eyes with the alien Vex. In that moment, a silent understanding passed between them. There was far more going on here than either of their leaders were letting on. The deception had worked, perhaps too well. Earth had convinced the Imperium of its weakness, but in doing so, had they also made themselves a target for an even greater threat. As the unknown object drew ever closer, one thing became crystal clear. The game of galactic politics had begun, and humanity was playing for keeps. General Blackwood's voice cut through the pandemonium, calm and authoritative. Mr. President, Your Highness, please follow me. We have a secure bunker where we can assess the situation. As they were rushed to safety, President Rodriguez allowed herself a grim smile. It was time for Earth to show its true colors, ready or not. The real test of humanity's place in the cosmos was about to begin. Shadows of conspiracy. The secure bunker hummed with tension as Earth's leaders and the alien delegation huddled around holographic displays. The unknown object that had sent everyone into a panic turned out to be nothing more than a rogue comet, its trajectory altered by a chance encounter with a gravitational anomaly. General Blackwood suppressed a smile. The comet was, in fact, a carefully orchestrated ruse, a holographic projection created by Earth's hidden fleet to provide an excuse for the planet's leaders to gather in secret. As the aliens breathed sighs of relief, or their physiological equivalent, President Rodriguez turned to Prince Zoxnar. Your Highness, in light of this incident, perhaps we should postpone further discussions until tomorrow. Zoxnar waved a dismissive hand. Very well. I suppose you primitives need time to recover from such excitement. We shall reconvene at dawn. As the alien delegation was escorted to their quarters, Dr. Amelia Chen caught Vex's eye. The junior alien diplomat gave her an almost imperceptible nod. The message was clear. We need to talk. Hours later, in the dead of night, Amelia slipped out of the compound. She made her way to a nondescript coffee shop several blocks away, her heart pounding with each step. As she pushed open the door, she saw Vex hunched in a corner booth, his alien features hidden beneath an oversized hoodie. I apologize for the cloak and dagger routine, Vex said as Amelia slid into the seat across from him. But what I'm about to tell you could reshape the galaxy, or get us both killed. Amelia leaned forward. I'm listening. Vex took a deep breath. The Imperium isn't what it seems. There's a shadow faction within our government, one that's been manipulating events on a galactic scale. They call themselves the Evolutionaries. What do they want? To push the boundaries of science and evolution, no matter the cost. They've been experimenting on less advanced species for centuries, guiding their development, sometimes culling those they deem unworthy. Amelia felt a chill run down her spine. And Earth. Vex's eyes darted nervously around the cafe. You're their next big project. They've been watching you for decades, subtly influencing your technological progress. That message you received, it wasn't random. It was a trigger designed to push you towards first contact when they decided you were ready. But why? Why go to all this trouble? Because humanity is unique. Your adaptability, your creativity, it's unlike anything we've seen. The evolutionaries believe you have the potential to become the most powerful species in the galaxy. They want to shape that potential, to create the perfect galactic citizens, or the perfect weapons. Amelia's mind reeled. We have to warn. No, Vex hissed. If the evolutionaries suspect I told you this, they'll glass your entire planet just to be safe. For now, we have to play along. Let them think their plan is working. As Amelia left the cafe, her head spinning with revelations, she failed to notice the shadowy figure watching from a nearby alley. The observer lifted a comm device to its mouth. The human knows. Initiate Protocol Omega. Halfway across the globe, deep beneath the Antarctic ice, General Blackwood stood before a massive view screen. The display showed a real-time hologram of Earth, surrounded by thousands of tiny lights, each one representing a ship in humanity's secret fleet. Status report, Blackwood barked. A young lieutenant snapped to attention. Sir, the Titan shipyards are at 89% capacity. Mars defense grid is online and fully operational. The Kuiper Belt outposts report all systems nominal. Blackwood nodded, allowing himself a moment of pride. Humanity had accomplished in secret what most civilizations took centuries to achieve openly. They had built a fleet and defensive network capable of standing toe-to-toe with the greatest powers in the galaxy. But would it be enough? A klaxon shattered the moment of quiet reflection. Red warning lights bathed the command center in an ominous glow. Report. Blackwood shouted. Sir, we're detecting unauthorized access to our deep space relay network. Someone's trying to send a message out of the system. Blackwood's blood ran cold. If their true capabilities were exposed now, before they were ready. Shut it down. Shut it all down, now. Across the solar system, human outposts and ships suddenly went dark, their power signatures fading to nothing. To any watching eyes, Earth would appear as vulnerable as ever. But the damage was done. Someone somewhere now knew humanity's secret. Back in New York, Prince Oxnar paced his opulent guest quarters, all pretense of arrogance gone. He spoke urgently into a communication device unlike anything Earth's scientists had ever seen. Father, we may have a problem. These humans, I don't think they're as primitive as we've been led to believe. The Emperor's voice crackled through the device, heavy with static and barely contained rage. Explain yourself, my son. There are inconsistencies. Their infrastructure is too advanced for their supposed level of technology. And their leaders, they're too calm, too prepared. It's as if they've done this before. A long pause followed. When the Emperor spoke again, his voice was cold. The evolutionaries assured us that humanity was ripe for conquest. If they've deceived us, what are your orders, Father? Proceed as planned for now, but be prepared for anything. If these humans have hidden strengths, we must draw them out. Push them. Threaten them. Do whatever it takes to reveal their true nature. As Zoxanar acknowledged the command, a small device hidden in the room's ornate light fixture recorded every word. In her private quarters, Dr. Amelia Chen listened to the conversation with growing dread. The web of deception and counter-deception was growing ever more tangled. Humanity was playing a dangerous game, and the stakes were higher than anyone had imagined. Dawn broke over New York City, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold. But beneath the serene surface, currents of tension and suspicion roiled. As world leaders prepared to reconvene with the alien delegation, a series of explosions rocked the city's underground transit system. Panic erupted in the streets as plumes of smoke rose from shattered subway entrances. In the ensuing chaos, a nondescript van pulled up to the United Earth Space Agency's main spaceport. Its occupants, faces hidden behind high-tech masks, moved with military precision. Within minutes, they had breached the facility's security and made their way to the heart of Earth's public space program. Alarms blared as the intruders reached the control room. Security forces scrambled to respond, but they were too late. The saboteurs had already begun uploading a virus into the system, a virus designed to tear away the carefully constructed veil hiding humanity's true capabilities. As the virus wormed its way through firewalls and security protocols, one of the attackers removed their mask, revealing a face that was unmistakably alien. For the greater good of the galaxy, the alien whispered, pressing the final key to unleash digital chaos. Across the globe, hidden bases and secret facilities suddenly lit up on monitoring stations. The virus had not only exposed Earth's deception, but had sent out a beacon, broadcasting the location of humanity's hidden fleet to every corner of the galaxy. In the secure bunker, General Blackwood watched in horror as decades of secrecy and preparation unraveled in a matter of minutes. He turned to President Rodriguez, his face grim. "Madam President, we're blown. What are your orders?" Rodriguez stood silent for a long moment, the weight of history heavy on her shoulders. When she spoke, her voice was steel. "Activate the fleet. All of it. It's time to show the galaxy who we really are." As klaxons sounded and humanity's hidden armada roared to life, one thing became crystal clear. The game of shadows and lies was over. Now, the true test of humanity's place in the cosmos would begin. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, ancient powers stirred, awakened by the sudden emergence of a new and unexpected player on the galactic stage. The conspiracy had been shattered, but the real battle was just beginning. The galactic powder keg. The vast emptiness of space erupted into chaos as Earth's hidden fleet burst into view. Thousands of sleek, angular vessels shimmered into existence, their stealth fields dropping to reveal a force that dwarfed anything the Galactic Imperium had brought to bear. On the bridge of the EFS Prometheus, Earth's flagship, Admiral Sarah Chen, no relation to Dr. Amelia Chen, stood with her hands clasped behind her back, her face a mask of determination. "All ships, battle stations. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." As klaxons blared across the fleet, the Admiral turned to her second-in-command. "Status report on the Imperium fleet." Commander Jackson consulted his holographic display. "They're in disarray, sir. Our sudden appearance seems to have caught them completely off guard. They're scrambling to form up, but—" His words were cut short by a blinding flash of light. A massive portal tore open in space, disgorging a flood of ships unlike anything Earth had ever seen. They were organic in appearance, all curves and tendrils, a stark contrast to the angular designs of both human and Imperium craft. "New contacts," shouted the sensor officer. "Thousands of them. They're not Imperium. They're, sir, I have no idea what they are." Admiral Chen's eyes narrowed. "Looks like this powder keg just found its spark." Back on Earth, the alien delegation was in an uproar. Prince Loxnar, his earlier disdain replaced by a mixture of fear and rage, rounded on President Rodriguez. "You duplicitous apes," he snarled, all four arms gesticulating wildly. "You dare to deceive the Galactic Imperium. Your planet will be reduced to ash for this treachery." Rodriguez stood her ground, unflinching in the face of the alien's fury. "Perhaps if you had come in peace instead of with thoughts of conquest, this deception wouldn't have been necessary." Before Zoxnar could reply, the bunker's main screen flared to life, showing the chaos unfolding in orbit. The prince's eyes widened at the sight of the new, unknown fleet. "Impossible," he whispered. "They're just a myth, a boogeyman story to scare hatchlings." "What?" Rodriguez demanded. "Who are they?" Zoxnar turned to her, his color shifting to a pale, sickly hue. "The Devourers, a race so ancient and terrible that most believe them to be legend. If they're here, the entire galaxy is in peril." In low Earth orbit, Dr. Amelia Chen clung to her seat aboard a hastily launched evacuation shuttle. Through the viewport, she watched in horror as the first salvo of the battle lit up the sky. Energy weapons crisscrossed the void, while missiles and exotic projectiles created a deadly light show against the backdrop of her home planet. "This is madness," she murmured. "We're not ready for this. None of us are." Beside her, the alien diplomat Vex nodded grimly. "The evolutionaries have miscalculated badly. Their meddling has awakened a force beyond even their control." A nearby passenger, overhearing their conversation, leaned in. "What are you talking about? Who are these evolutionaries?" Before Vex could answer, a blast rocked the shuttle. Warning lights flashed as the pilot's panicked voice came over the intercom. "Brace for impact. We're going down." The shuttle plummeted towards Earth's atmosphere, trailing smoke and debris. As they hurtled towards the ground, Amelia's last conscious thought was a fervent wish that humanity's hidden strengths would be enough to face this unexpected threat. High above the Earth, Admiral Chen barked orders as the Prometheus wove through the chaos of the three-way battle. Human ingenuity was on full display as the Earth fleet utilized tactics and technologies that caught both the Imperium and the Devourers off guard. Gravity weapons warped space-time, sending enemy ships careening into each other. Quantum-entangled communications allowed for instantaneous coordination across vast distances, and at the heart of each human vessel, an AI tactical system adapted to the alien strategies in real time, predicting movements and countering them before they could even be executed. "Ma'am," Commander Jackson called out, "the Devourers are pressing hard on our flank. The Imperium ships in that sector are being torn apart." Chen gritted her teeth. As much as she despised the Imperium's earlier deception, she knew that humanity's best chance lay in a united front. "Divert Task Force Sigma to support the Imperium ships, and get me a channel to their fleet commander." Moments later, the surprised face of an Imperium admiral appeared on the main view screen. Chen wasted no time on pleasantries. "This is Admiral Chen of Earth's Defense Force. We're moving to support your flank against the Devourer assault. Coordinate your fire with ours, or we all die here today." The alien admiral blinked his three eyes in rapid succession, then nodded curtly. "Understood, Earth Admiral. We appreciate your assistance." As the combined human and Imperium forces began to push back against the Devourer onslaught, a new alert blared across the Prometheus's bridge. "Multiple impacts detected on Earth's surface," the sensor officer shouted. "The Devourers are launching some kind of pods. They're breaking through our atmospheric defenses." Chen felt her blood run cold. The space battle was just a prelude. The real fight would be on the ground. In the smoking wreckage of the downed evacuation shuttle, Dr. Amelia Chen regained consciousness. The acrid smell of burning circuitry filled her nostrils as she blinked away the haze of pain. Around her, Other survivors were stirring, groaning in a cacophony of human and alien voices. "Is everyone all right?" she called out, her scientific training kicking in as she began to triage the injured. A hand grasped her arm. Vex, the alien diplomat, his eyes wide with urgency. "Dr. Chen, we need to move. Now." The Devourers, they're not just here to conquer. They're here to feed. As if in response to his words, an earth-shaking boom echoed across the landscape. Amelia looked up to see a massive organic-looking pod slam into the ground less than a kilometer away. The pod split open, disgorging a horde of nightmarish creatures, all teeth, claws, and writhing tentacles. "Oh my God," Amelia whispered. Vex pulled her to her feet. "Your species has hidden strengths, Dr. Chen. Now is the time to use them. The fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy may rest on what happens here today." As the survivors of the shuttle crash rallied, arming themselves with whatever they could find, Amelia felt a strange calm settle over her. Humanity had prepared for this moment for generations, hiding their true capabilities from the galaxy at large. Now, with the threat of annihilation looming, it was time to show the cosmos what humans were truly capable of. In orbit and on the ground, across the face of the Earth and into the depths of space, the battle for survival had begun. The galactic powder keg had ignited, and its explosion would reshape the very foundations of galactic civilization. As Amelia led the ragtag group of survivors towards the nearest human stronghold, she allowed herself a grim smile. The Devourers, the Imperium, the Evolutionaries, they were all about to learn a vital lesson. Never underestimate humanity. Turning the tides of war. The skies over Earth blazed with the fury of titanic energies as three distinct armadas clashed in a battle that would determine the fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the helm of the ESA Prometheus, her eyes darting between holographic displays showing the ever-shifting layout of the conflict. "Status report," she barked, her voice carrying over the controlled chaos of the bridge. Commander Jackson's fingers danced over his console. "The Devourers are pressing hard on our left flank, but our quantum entanglement shields are holding. Barely. The Imperium forces are rallying to our right, but they've taken heavy losses." Chen nodded grimly. "And our secret weapon?" A ghost of a smile flickered across Jackson's face. "The GAIA system is online and fully operational, Admiral. It's ready on your command." Chen took a deep breath. The Galactic Artificial Intelligence Aggregate, GAIA, was humanity's trump card, a hyper-advanced AI system that could coordinate entire fleets with efficiency no organic mind could match. It was the culmination of centuries of hidden research and development, and using it would irreversibly reveal the true extent of human technological prowess. "Activate GAIA," Chen ordered. "Full integration with all Earth vessels and defensive systems. Let's show these aliens what humanity can really do." As the AI came online, the tide of battle began to shift. Human ships moved with uncanny precision, their formations morphing and adapting in real time to counter every Devourer assault. Predictive algorithms anticipated enemy maneuvers seconds before they occurred, allowing Earth's fleet to be perpetually one step ahead. On the main view screen, Chen watched as a massive Devourer high ship, easily twice the size of the Prometheus, bore down on a cluster of Imperium cruisers. Before she could even give the order, a squad of Earth interceptors swooped in, their weapons blazing with a strange, shimmering energy. "What the hell was that?" Chen demanded, watching in awe as the Devourer ship's organic hull began to dissolve and disintegrate. "Weaponized entropy, Admiral," her chief science officer explained. "GAIA adapted our theoretical physics research into a deployable weapon in real time. It's revolutionary." As the space battle turned in Earth's favor, Chen allowed herself a moment of hope, but she knew the war was far from over. On the ground, Dr. Amelia Chen led her group of human and alien survivors through the ruins of what had once been downtown Seattle. The twisted wreckage of skyscrapers loomed overhead, while the distant rumble of combat echoed through the smoke-filled air. "We're nearly there," Amelia called out, pointing to a nondescript office building ahead. "That's the entrance to Bunker Alpha 7. We'll be safe there, and we can coordinate with other resistance cells." Beside her, Vex, the alien diplomat, marveled at the humans' preparedness. "You had hidden bunkers and weapon caches all over your planet. Truly, your species' paranoia is matched only by your ingenuity." Amelia allowed herself a grim chuckle. "When you spend your entire history expecting alien invasions, you tend to over-prepare." As they approached the bunker entrance, a bone-chilling shriek split the air. The devourer hunting pack, a writhing mass of tentacles and razor-sharp appendages, burst from a nearby building. "Run!" Amelia screamed, but she knew they wouldn't all make it. Just as hope seemed lost, the ground beneath the devourers erupted. A squad of mech-suited human soldiers, their armor gleaming with advanced tech, far beyond anything the Imperium had seen, emerged from hidden underground bays. The battle was short but fierce. Energy weapons and gravity manipulators made short work of the alien monstrosities, while personal force fields shrugged off acidic sprays and plasma bursts. As the last devourer fell, the lead mech soldier's faceplate retracted, revealing a young woman with a fierce grin. "Dr. Chen, I'm Lieutenant Rodriguez. Welcome to the Resistance." In the secure bunker beneath the United Nations, President Elena Rodriguez faced off against Prince Zoxnar. The alien leader's earlier arrogance had evaporated, replaced by a mixture of fear and grudging respect. "Your deception was impressive," Zoxnar admitted, "but it may doom us all. The devourers cannot be reasoned with, cannot be stopped. They will consume every living thing in this galaxy unless we work together," Rodriguez finished. She gestured to the holographic displays showing the battle raging above. "Your ships are coordinating with ours now. Imagine what we could accomplish if we truly combined our strengths." Zoxnar's three eyes blinked rapidly as he considered her words. "You would trust us? After everything?" Rodriguez's gaze hardened. "Trust is earned, Your Highness. This is your chance to start earning it." Before Zoxnar could respond, alarms blared throughout the bunker. General Blackwood burst into the room, his face ashen. "Madam President, Your Highness, we have a problem. A big one." The main screen flickered to life, showing a massive devourer ship unlike any they had seen before. It dwarfed even the largest vessels in orbit, its surface writhing with eldritch energies. "Dear God," Rodriguez whispered, "what is that?" Zoxnar's color drained to a sickly pale. "The Hive Queen, the living heart of the devourer swarm. If it's here, they mean to consume your entire world in one fell swoop." As they watched in horror, the Hive Queen began to power up a weapon of unimaginable destructive potential. Earth's fleet and the remaining Imperium ships rallied to intercept, but it was clear they wouldn't make it in time. In that moment of crisis, when all seemed lost, humanity unveiled its final, greatest secret. Admiral Chen's voice crackled over the global communication network, reaching every human on and above the Earth. "All forces, initiate protocol ascension. Authorization code, Phoenix Rising." Across the planet, hidden installations hummed to life. In orbit, cloaked satellites shed their disguises, revealing themselves to be far more than mere observation platforms. And deep beneath the surface of the moon, an ancient weapon, built by human hands, but guided by science beyond even the Imperium's understanding, began to awaken. Gaia's serene voice echoed through every human ship and installation. Ascension protocol initiated, unlocking full transdimensional capabilities. What happened next would be debated by scholars and scientists for centuries to come. Reality itself seemed to warp and bend around the Earth. The laws of physics buckled as humanity tapped into energies that by all rights should have been beyond their grasp. A beam of pure, concentrated possibility lanced out from the moon, catching the Hive Queen's destructive blast mid-flight. The two forces met in a cataclysmic explosion that lit up the solar system like a newborn star. When the light faded, the Hive Queen's weapon had been neutralized. More than that, the massive ship listed in space, huge sections of its living hull simply erased from existence. In the stunned silence that followed, Admiral Chen's voice rang out once more. All ships, all ground forces, press the advantage. Show these devourers and the whole damn galaxy what happens when you back humanity into a corner. As the battle resumed with renewed vigor, the tide had well and truly turned. Humanity, with its hidden strengths finally unleashed, fought with a ferocity and ingenuity that left both allies and enemies in awe. The Devourers, for the first time in their long and terrible history, knew fear. The Imperium, witnessing power that rivaled or even surpassed their own, began to reevaluate their place in the cosmic order. And humanity, stepping out onto the galactic stage, not as supplicants or victims, but as peers and protectors, embraced its destiny among the stars. The war was far from over, but in this moment, as human innovation and determination turned the tide against an implacable foe, one thing became crystal clear to every species watching. The age of human ascendancy had begun. Architects of a new dawn. The solar system, once a quiet backwater in the grand tapestry of the galaxy, now blazed with the light of 1,000 suns. The combined fleets of Earth and the Imperium pressed their advantage against the reeling Devourers, their weapons carving swaths of destruction through the alien armada. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the EFSS Prometheus, her eyes fixed on the tactical hologram. The Devourer Hive Queen, still reeling from the devastating strike of Earth's moon-based weapon, limped towards the outskirts of the system. "They're retreating," Commander Jackson announced, a note of disbelief in his voice. Chen's expression remained grim. "Not retreating. Regrouping. This isn't over yet." She turned to her communications officer. "Get me a direct line to President Rodriguez and Prince Zoxnar. It's time we end this, once and for all." Deep within the secure bunker, President Elena Rodriguez and Prince Zoxnar huddled around a holographic projector, watching the battle unfold. The mood was tense, a mixture of hope and lingering suspicion. "Your weapons," Zoxnar said, his voice a mix of awe and fear. "That level of technology. It shouldn't be possible." Rodriguez allowed herself a small smile. "There's a lot about humanity you have yet to learn, Your Highness." Before Zoxnar could respond, Admiral Chen's face appeared on the main screen. "Madam President, Your Highness, the Devourers are falling back, but we have reason to believe they're preparing for a final desperate assault." Rodriguez nodded. "What do you propose?" "Admiral, a joint strike force," Chen replied. "The best ships and crews from both our fleets, armed with our most advanced tech. We take the fight directly to the Hive Queen before it can recover." Zoxnar's color shifted, a sign of internal conflict. "You would trust Imperium forces with your most guarded secrets." "Trust is a two-way street, Your Highness," Rodriguez interjected. "We're offering you a chance to fight alongside us as equals. The question is, are you willing to take it?" The alien prince was silent for a long moment. Then, with a gesture that seemed to carry the weight of centuries, he bowed his head. "The Imperium stands with Earth. Let us end this threat together." On the ravaged streets of Seattle, Dr. Amelia Chen and the alien diplomat Vex worked side by side in a makeshift command center. Holographic screens displayed the ongoing space battle, while others showed the progress of ground forces pushing back the remaining Devourer ground troops. "I still can't believe it," Vex marveled. "Your species, you've advanced so far, so fast. The evolutionaries couldn't have predicted this." Amelia's hands flew over a control panel, coordinating evacuation efforts. Maybe that was their mistake. "They tried to control our evolution, but humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt on our own terms." A nearby screen flared to life, showing a joint human Imperium strike force assembling in orbit. Sleek Earth vessels merged formations with the more ornate Imperium ships, their combined firepower dwarfing anything seen before in the galaxy. "Look at that," Amelia breathed. "2 days ago, we were enemies. Now," Vex finished her thought, "now you may have forged an alliance that will reshape the stars themselves." The combined fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Orc cloud, where the Devourer forces had regrouped around their wounded Hive Queen. The massive organic vessel pulsed with sickly light, tendrils of eldritch energy arsing across its surface as it attempted to repair the damage from Earth's secret weapon. Aboard the flagship of the Joint Fleet, Admiral Chen stood shoulder to shoulder with Imperium Fleet Commander Zarkov. The bridge was a study in contrasts. Human officers worked alongside their alien counterparts, their technologies meshing in ways that would have seemed impossible mere days ago. "All ships report ready," Commander Jackson announced. "GAIA has full integration with both human and Imperium systems." Chen nodded, then turned to Zarkov. "Are you ready to make history, Commander?" The alien's 3 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture Chen had learned was the equivalent of a smile. "For the first time in my long life, Admiral, I find myself excited by uncertainty. Let us write this new chapter together." Chen's voice rang out across the entire fleet. "All ships, commence attack pattern Omega. Show these Devourers the true meaning of unity." The battle that followed would be spoken of in hushed tones for millennia to come. Human ingenuity melded seamlessly with Imperium power, their combined might focusing on the Hive Queen with unstoppable force. GAIA's predictive algorithms allowed the fleet to dance through the Devourer's defenses, always one step ahead. Imperium energy lances, augmented by Earth's quantum entanglement technology, pierced the alien flagship's organic hull. Waves of fighter craft, human and Imperium alike, swarmed around larger vessels, their pilots working in perfect harmony. And at the heart of it all, a singular weapon emerged from the combined fleet, born of human theoretical physics and Imperium engineering. Fueled by the raw computational power of JIA, it defied easy description. Some would later call it a god killer, others a cosmic reset button. As the weapon powered up, drawing energy from the very fabric of space-time, the Hive Queen seemed to sense its impending doom. A psychic scream echoed across the battlefield, freezing both human and alien minds in its grip. In that moment of crisis, it was neither a seasoned admiral nor a highborn prince who turned the tide. Dr. Amelia Chen, watching from Earth through a quantum-entangled feed, made an intuitive leap that would change the course of history. "The scream," she gasped. "It's not an attack, it's communication. They're asking for mercy." Her words, broadcast across the fleet, reached Admiral Chen just as she was about to give the final fire order. The Admiral's finger hovered over the launch key, centuries of human determination warring with a newfound sense of galactic responsibility. "We came here to end a threat," Chen said softly. "But perhaps we have the chance to end a cycle." With a decisive motion, she opened a channel directly to the Hive Queen. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of Earth. We are prepared to cease fire if you withdraw immediately from this system and agree to diplomatic talks. The choice is yours: extinction or evolution." For a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, the battlefield fell silent. Then, slowly, ponderously, the Hive Queen and its remaining fleet began to retreat. As cheers erupted across the human and Imperium ships, Admiral Chen shared a look with Commander Zarkov. "I hope we made the right choice," she said. The alien commander placed a hand on her shoulder, a gesture he had learned from his human counterparts. "The right choice is seldom the easy one, Admiral. But today we have all taken the first step towards a future none of us could have imagined." In the months that followed, the galaxy witnessed changes that would have once seemed impossible. Earth took its place as a major power, its hidden strengths now a beacon of innovation and progress. The Imperium, humbled by the experience, began reforms that would reshape its society. And the Devourers, true to their word, entered into cautious diplomatic relations with the newly forming Galactic Council. As representatives from 100 worlds gathered for the first assembly of this new era, President Elena Rodriguez took the stage. Her words, broadcast across the stars, would echo through history. We stand here today, not as conquerors, not as victims, but as architects of a new dawn. Humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to face the unknown, to adapt, to grow. Now, we extend that strength to all sentient beings. Together, we will build a future that honors our differences, celebrates our commonalities, and reaches for the very stars themselves. As applause filled the chamber, Dr. Amelia Chen and Vex shared a smile. The journey had been long, filled with deception and danger, but it had led to this moment. A new chapter not just for humanity, but for all life in the galaxy. The age of isolation was over. The era of united cosmic exploration had begun. And at its heart stood humanity, no longer hidden, no longer afraid, but ready to help shape the destiny of the stars themselves.